This channel is made possible by viewers like you. My viewers, subscribers, and patrons greatly help to keep this channel going. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any uploads. And if you'd like to go the extra mile, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you'll get access to what I'm working on, previews of upcoming content, and even early videos, along with other tier options for those that are interested. Thank you, and now on to the video. Sometimes simple ends up being just better. I do love the latest graphics and spectacle that money can buy, along with a good story when told and especially written well. All of the big stuff you see within the AAA space. Generally, I like the idea of it, and especially when looking back to older titles made within this space. There were so many greats, and I still return to these to this day, but I am finding myself more and more now drifting away from the big AAA space, and setting my sights more on the indie projects. You will find a vast array of games within this space. If you think it's hard to keep up with all the AAA releases, wait till you take a look at the indie scene, because it honestly feels endless. The downside is that there's a lot of crap there that you need to sift through. The upside is that there's almost something for anybody, or another way of looking at it. Something for depending on the mood you're in as well. This can bring you back to the Secret of Mana days, or maybe you're looking for Metroidvanias or boomer shooters. Pick something and give it a try. And this relates back to what I said a moment ago. Sometimes simple ends up being just better. I don't know about you, but there are times where I crave a certain kind of game. Whether it be an open world I can really dive into, or a short and sweet single-player story game. Or sometimes I just want something that brings me back to the arcade days, where it was all about the gameplay. For me, Habroxia was one such title. This very fun shoot-'em-up was exactly what I was looking for. And it's so good, and I think it's one that deserves more attention. I miss arcades. As a kid, my dad would occasionally take me to them for an afternoon, and they felt like these really cool buildings just stuffed with games. You never really knew what you were going to find. Would it be an old favorite or maybe something new? Would the game be open or a free slot that you could play co-op with a stranger and then leave as friends? You were armed with quarters, and it felt like the possibilities were endless. Going back to these days, or the consoles from my childhood like the Genesis or Super Nintendo, there would be a lot of shoot-'em-up games, titles where you were just dropped right in, and maybe you were given a chance to quickly get up to speed on the controls, or maybe just learning as you go to try your best to survive. This stuff was extremely easy to get into, anyone could pick it up, but learning the nuances and even specific parts of levels and bosses was something that you would gain over time. Habroxia is a modern shoot-'em-up, made with the look and honestly feel of a retro game. This is one of those indies where it feels like someone hid it away for years, and they just brought it out now and it was discovered to bring it back to the world. Plus, this little title has a lot going for it, from its quality ability to be able to deliver on its retro-like design, the enjoyable and addictive shooting action, and then there's some light progression elements that give the player something to always work towards. This is the perfect type of game where if you don't have much time to game, but want to have a fun experience for just 30 minutes, it also works as a title that if you have a lot of time, you can dump a lot into it because the game is just really fun. I beat the game over the course of a few days. I found myself coming back to it a few times weeks after it. Why? Because it had its hooks in me and provides satisfaction in its bite-sized chunks that you want to keep chasing over and over again. So let me provide some more detail on how Habroxia is played. You are thrown into a level, and your job is to shoot everything that comes at you, while trying not to take any damage yourself. The guns and how they operate are pretty cool, so holding down the fire button will fire off a more narrow focused set of shots. Holding both the triggers will then cause you to do a more wider spread. I found myself using this a lot while playing the game, especially depending on the patterns the enemies came in. You might need to focus it up based on the enemy formations or enemy types, or there might be situations where turrets are on the walls, and a wider shot will allow you to hit the turrets, and other flyers that are trying to take you down. But this isn't the only means to use your guns. You can also shoot out of the left and right side of your ship. This was an interesting inclusion, and pretty cool conceptually. Essentially, you can shoot everywhere but behind you. There are situations where you'll want to take advantage of the side shots, but this is also something that I did not feel like the game used as much as it could have. I think more skilled players will probably be able to use it better than me, and I think maybe in the sequel this is something that they could expand upon. Nevertheless, Habroxia gives the player a lot of control on how they fire their main gun. Then for defense, you have your boost. You have a limited amount of it and need to wait for it to refill, as this greatly increases your speed and allows for you to dodge enemy attacks, or even quickly snatching some power-ups or objectives before they go away. The core gameplay here is just old school shoot 'em up action done right. Habroxia's main mode is its campaign. Here you will fight through several stages, blowing up all manner of guns, ships, and bosses. As you defeat enemies, they will often drop useful items that you'll want to grab. Many will drop credits, which are used in the progression system. Others will provide you with buffs or specials that can be used for that stage. You can earn the ability to shoot rockets, have better speed, and more when it comes to your buffs, and these do not carry over into the next stage. When you start the next stage, your ship will be back at square one again. The specials will give you an even greater advantage, with providing a useful shield, a screen-clearing bomb, laser, and even vastly improving your main weapon for a period of time. The drops are always random and adds a fun element when replaying the stages too. Bosses are a highlight as well, as each one takes on a traditional approach and will shift their attack pattern as you whittle down their health bar. Again, Habroxia is very much focused on its gameplay at all times, and then you as a player growing on that skill. This element is the addictive aspect to it. The progression with the credits is kind of like the icing on the cake. It is here where you can spend your credits to give you more starting health, even choosing what starting special you want, or improving other aspects of your ship. The grind here is fun if you want to unlock everything, since the game is just great. When it comes to the flaws, my main one relates to a mid-campaign boss that feels like an odd difficulty spike, almost like it needed more refinement since the shoot up in difficulty comes out of nowhere. But besides this, the game is really fun. Habroxia is a title that is really fun, a quality shoot 'em up that checks all the right boxes and delivers an experience that I really enjoyed, along with providing gameplay that I happily return back to even after beating the game. The campaign is fun, and then you unlock additional modes as you complete it, so there's a decent amount to enjoy here. For a title that is under $10, it comes with plenty to enjoy. I highly recommend Habroxia. Have you played Habroxia? What are some of your favorite shoot 'em ups? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. If you're interested in being notified of new videos, please hit the subscribe button and bell. And if you would like to support the channel and get early access to content, please check out my Patreon. All of the links will be at the end of this video and within the description. And thank you very much for watching.